We're like the hodgepodge crew. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Wind Down Wednesdays. I'm here with Mr. Party. Tonight, we are going to have a little bit of Micah dishing some tea for our audience. Are you going to keep those on the whole time? Oh, no. We're having fun today, as you can see. I'm flying imaginary planes. These are my glasses that make me feel a little rowdy when I'm overworked and have a lot on my plate. So I had this on for the last 2 days just to have fun. Hi, Khadijah. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to our online party, Wound Down Wednesday party, right?
Hello.
So anyway, I'm Michelle Wedderburn. I'm here with my hijo, Micah, and tonight he and I are just going to chat with you a little bit, talk a little bit about his school year. Hope you can hear us. If you can't for any reason, just drop us a little note here in the chat. And what else do we want to share? We're in San Miguel de Allende. If this is your first time here on my channel, welcome. And if it's not your first time, welcome back. Please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000 and it's like, hi, Angel from Dallas. Hey, how are you, my dear? Welcome. So tonight we're just gonna kind of do a quick recap of the school year and just the things that are happening in our world. Next month, not next week, but next month, we are going to focus on everything Hacienda Elm and just like things that are happening in Hacienda in terms of just, we want to talk about care here in Mexico, what that looks like, cost. We want to talk about the purpose of Hacienda building community for aging demographic. We want to talk to some professional and some guests that will come on and give us some insight about just in general about how things work here. You know, I'm gonna probably have like an on-call doctor that will come on and just kind of talk about what that looks like in San Miguel and things like that. Just want to continue to build up the emphasis of why Hacienda Elm was created. So if you haven't heard of Hacienda ELM, please make sure you check it out. I will drop a couple links and stuff. I just want to say welcome, Raquel. Hey, Michelle. We are definitely going to talk about your tea. Micah actually just made me and himself champagne and berries, which is very popular. We like this one a lot. It has a 3 level of caffeine in it, so it's perfect for us. Yeah, he just made 2 cups of tea for Wind Down Wednesday, and I have some homemade ginger pineapple juice that one of my friends made. So we're sipping on a lot of things over here, water included. All right, so let's get started. Welcome, everyone, and feel free to check in with each other. Hi, Cheryl, welcome. Hello. All right, let me just pull some things up right now. Give me a second. I'm actually kind of hot. Do you think you can reach the fan?
No.
Okay, I'll do it. 1 second. Michael will entertain you with some song and dancing. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I had it on earlier, but it was a little hot. Okay, all right, so housekeeping. Housekeeping may be a little bit tonight. Let me just make sure we're both on screen. Okay, here we go. Sorry, we're a little all over. All right, so Micah you want to tell them about your Spanish lessons?
So I started a website about teaching people Spanish, and I think it's gonna be great.
Okay, he teaches conversational Spanish, right?
No notebooks needed. That is if you want to bring your
Right.
notebook.
Right, or don't. It's really easygoing because he is not going to make you feel intimidated if you want to practice with him. So we want to continue promoting that. So if anyone is interested, here is his website. Feel free to sign up there. All right, so anything else you want to share about your
Today is
classes?
gonna be a generally fun night.
Yes, we're going to have a party, right? For Hacienda Elm, again, if you are interested in our virtual presentation, the next one that we will have will be next, I think it's next Saturday. It's going to be on June the 28th, and I believe it's at 11 o'clock my time. We had one last week and it was great. You know, it was kind of the first thing that was interactive with other people. It was really, really good to speak to everyone. We're still, you know, there's so, like, I'm putting my arms around this whole project and really holding it close, but also, you know, there's a lot more going on and more to do than Casa Elm. So I'm just kind of making sure that we are kind of, you know, tweaking things to meet the needs that people have, okay? Please make sure to like and send hearts. Thank you, Raquel. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Thank you. Yes, we're gonna hopefully have an amazing summer, right? All right. What else do we want to share? I also have a free webinar coming up on June 23rd. And that's just going to be to inform everybody about the events that are happening for the rest of 2025 and just give information for anyone who might be interested in those events. And there are 3 dates for that. I think it's like consecutive Mondays, the 23rd, and whatever the next 2 Mondays are. There's going to be 3 of them all together, and you can sign up. They don't have a cost attached, so you can go to that link and check that out. And then I will get into our October meetup. I think we still have 2 spaces open for that. We did this last year. It was a whole lot of fun. We had, I think, a total, including myself, maybe 10 or 11 people, 11 people who participated, and that's happening on October 16th through the 20th. So you can go. There's also, so there's the VIP spaces here at Casa, and then you can also do a general admission ticket, which the difference is that you will take care of your own accommodations, your own airport transfers, and all the things, but the ticket will cover the things listed for the events for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So please check that out, and I hope that you're able to join us because we had a lot of fun last year, and we intend to have a lot of fun this year as well. We also have our, where is that MIA? Where is it? Okay, if you go to our events page, we do have an July half-week relocation tour. If that's something that's of interest to you, you can check that out as well. And one additional thing I wanted to add is, let's see here, one second. Dia de los Muertos. All right, check out Dia de los Muertos. That's going to be hosted by Anne Marie, but also myself. We are sold out at Casa Elm, but there are still spaces available to stay in hotels and stuff. And just check out the link. It will give you all the details of what we're planning on doing. Lots of fun, cool things happening there. And finally, I want to talk about, of course, our tea sponsor, Michelle. Hey. So, as I said earlier, Micah just made this. Why did you pick this one? Any reason?
Tastes very yummy.
Can match
Definitely recommend
the
it.
champagne and berries to match your party glasses. Little
Also,
champagne.
since I'm here and it's meant to be a Wine Down Wednesday, champagne.
That's great. I love that. Okay, so Michelle is on with us, Miss Ingenuity, And she is our official tea sponsor for Casa Elm, and we appreciate her so much. It's been 2.5 years actually since she launched her brand. So make sure you go to her website and buy the teas. Okay, they're delicious. I mean that. I'm a big coffee drinker. I know you have frowned on it, but I actually really love these teas. And she has an amazing book for Black women, Tea and the Black Women or Woman, and I think that this is a great read for anyone who wants to add tea to just kind of their health routine and things that they're intaking. It has a lot of really good information. Okay, so we covered our bases, and I want to say please like and subscribe. Throw hearts if you'd like to, but make sure you like and subscribe. And I want to just kind of keep saying that. Hopefully I won't forget. I didn't really put this in there for those who are maybe the first time watching this. We live in San Miguel de Allende, which is located in central Mexico. I own a guest house space, which I consider very soft landing for those who've been here. I am Casa Elm's founder and most recently Hacienda Elm. Casa Elm is still going to be open, so people think I think leaving this to go over there. No, it'll be Hacienda's a whole different purpose, and if you go to the website, you can see that. Casa Elm is still what it is. We are the soft landing. We focus on relocation tours. We focus on group experience, multi-cultured experience, all the things. Plus, just plain old, you want to book a room, you can do that too. If you just want to come and stay here, you can also do that as well. I am actually going to start promoting anyone who might want to come for 2 weeks at a time or more, 2 to 4 weeks during the December and January months. Please feel free to send me an email, and I can pass those rates on to you if you want to be in San Miguel for the holidays, New Year's, Christmas, anything like that. Please make sure you send us an email to info@casaelm.com. Okay, you can write me there. And Hacienda is for 60 plus demographic. It is a space that is also created to love on people, build community for people who want to be residents, and basically, you know, living in community, but long term. Okay, and it will have an all inclusive, basically packages. That's really what we're trying to do. We're not necessarily looking for, you know, just kind of a visit. We're looking for people who want to live there and be in community and be a part of that while they are aging. We will have on-site care to a certain point. We're not healthcare. We're not administering anything medical, but we will have people that will be in place to assist if there are emergencies and things like that. But our goal is to create a very beautiful space, not just how it looks, but to live in for those who don't want to live alone as they age, or those who have older family members, older parents that they would like to have more eyes on. Okay, so check us out. This weekend on Saturday is our grand opening. No, it's not to the general public, but we are going to have this on Saturday, and we're going to do a physical tour with the group that's coming out to be a part of that. So I'm very excited. And again, like I said, on the 28th of June, we will have another virtual event. So that's it. I'm all chatted out. Who's ready to jump in? Let's see. Hi, Cheryl. Yes, I'm excited. Oh, yes, on the 28th. Yes, that's right. I'm excited. We've got you. Thank you so much. Angel has a question. She said, for Micah's lesson, we should know basic Spanish to be able to conversate, right?
You don't have to be able to speak basic Spanish. There will be an English. It will originally be in English, but there will be a translation for Spanish.
So you don't need to have the conversational aspect, and the title is that you can converse through learning. You'll learn and converse. That's how you're going to be learning it, is talking. Okay, hola. What does hola mean?
Hello.
Exactly. And if I wanted to say, how are you?
¿Cómo estás?
Exactly. And then what would be my response? I want to say, I'm doing great. And you?
Estoy bien. ¿Y tú?
Exacto. Y cuál is the, like, how much is Michelle's teas?
¿Cuánto es?
Yeah. ¿Cuánto cuesta? If
¿Cuánto
you're,
cuesta para un té de Michelle?
see. So things like this, it's a way for you to converse so you can come with your questions or your things or phrases. He does have a basic curriculum that's set up, but I think the initial class is that we find out, or he does, what and where are you starting? For some of the students, they kind of knew Spanish already, so it was a different level of what they needed to know, right, and practice. So it really is an opportunity to have conversation without feeling intimidated, maybe in a class setting, right? Yeah. So we're still trying to, well, he's still trying everything on. He's in charge of that, right? You're in charge of your.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, welcome. We look forward to seeing you as well soon. Okay, I'm just telling everybody's business. Sorry if you don't want people to know that. All right, so let's get started. What do you want to start with, my little man? Huh? Welcome to the party. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. ¿Qué pasó? You want to lift your glasses? You sure? Because a lot of people don't love when people are inside and they're wearing glasses. But it's your
Oh,
party.
well.
Okay, it's your party. All right, so tonight we just wanted to recap a little bit, right? The school year, just stuff. I can start. Do you want to start? Oh, I don't see your finger. In short, that end of the school year month or two just sometimes feels very heavy, and I'm sure parents can relate to this, especially if you're a single parent, which is our situation. It just feels heavy sometimes, like I am really feeling burnt out. Plus, we had this other project, and then of course CASA. And it's been a busy year, and I'm super blessed about that. You know, with all the politics and things that are happening in the North, a lot of people want to move here. So, hi, Erica. You joined to hear from Micah. So good to see you. Well, thank you, and welcome. We're excited. You're a superstar. I'm gonna ask you to sign right here at the end of the party. So what I realize is, you know, we all have to give ourselves grace with everything. I have a lot of clients who come through, who I have currently an actual relocation tour happening this week. It ends tomorrow. And the ladies that are here, they were expressing just how much they work and how much they feel bent and torn in different directions and all the things. Just there's so many things going on. We're not the only ones experiencing stuff, right? So we wanted to just kind of check in at the end of the school year to say, we made it. It was a lot, but we also had fun. I think we had fun this year. I think our goal is to take this time off, right? And just kind of have a break in between. So that's my 2 cents. Hi, Dominga. Welcome. So glad that I'm glad you could join too. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's jump into what you feel like sharing. What's something you learned this year that you feel, I don't know, you'll just kind of, or you found interesting that you'll maybe learn more of?
Probably chemistry and physics.
Yeah, what did you
Yeah.
like about those two?
Well, I mean, for chemistry, I learned that there are quite a lot of ways to measure things other than metric units, and some of those other things.
Like what? Do you
Like,
remember?
there's a thing called a ruler, like not the long rulers that you use like just to measure stuff, but also like metric rulers, I guess,
Okay.
and can be used to like measure like the seismic stuff of an earthquake.
Okay. And what class was this? You said
Science.
science? So where did you do physics? Was that
Also
in
in
school?
science. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you all do any actual like
Experiments?
using?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know about this. I'm learning stuff too, you guys. Huh?
What do you think those balloons are for? Just to
What
have
balloons?
them?
What balloons?
The ones that we bought, remember?
Yeah, but I didn't know you actually used them to do those experiments in
Just to
class.
have. Did you think I was just
I don't know, you
asking
guys
you
could
just to
have,
have it?
you could have had a balloon fight at school for all I know, water balloon fight for all I know
That
that.
was on the 9th
Oh, that
of
was a
June.
different day. Okay. All right. So, questions. Michelle wants to know, after having attended school in Mexico these past few years, could you foresee yourself attending college in Mexico or even another country outside of the United States? That was a big question. What do you think?
Probably.
Probably would. You want to go to college you think you would go to college in Mexico or possibly another country?
Happen.
Oh, he wants to go to Japan,
Happen.
Japón in Espanol. So I'm okay with that as of today. I'm okay with that. Take me with you, don't go. Okay, so outside of the US, because I would prefer I don't really want to harp on it, but I would prefer you did go to college outside of the US. And you have options, right? Because you could actually go to college in Europe as well. Yeah, if you wanted to. Because you're a resident over there too, remember?
I am.
Yes, you are. Okay, Khadijah says, what was your favorite day at school this year? Do you have a favorite day? Shote, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Shote. It's a really cool water park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the talent show?
No.
Not really?
No. Not really, just no.
Oh.
Just no.
You know, I have to say this, that the past talent shows for me were very funny. The kids were super creative, including you and your crew. But this year, I agree, it was a huge snore.
I agree. It
And then
said Victoria's Best Talent Show.
Don't tell the name. Oops. Bleep.
But it was far, far from the best. Far isn't even the right word. It's farther.
We're just gonna move on because they could be watching this too. But okay, they're very creative at the school. We're gonna do some damage control. They're very creative at the school. But for some reason this year, just for me, and I think my spirit wasn't in the right place for different reasons, but it wasn't that good, period. End of story. Just very long and drawn out and not that great. So, but I think your favorite day so far was probably Shote, right? And Shote is a water park, a local water park. So there's a lot of things for kids to do. And I think that that's an annual thing that they do, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a picnic, and they cook and grill, and they swim, and they go down the slide, so can't be mad about that, right? Let's see. Welcome to CMS. G. I would love to come experience Casa Elm. I'm hoping to do that soon. We would love to host you. Please make sure you visit our website, casaelm.com. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email to info@casaelm.com, okay? Hi, Lisa. Hey, how are you? Welcome. So Khadijah has a question. When you first arrived in San Miguel, was it easy to make friends?
Yeah, I would say it was kind of easy. To be fair, it was more like they came up to me and asked me to be friends.
But they, who, and where?
Mia and El Secreto, and she introduced me to a lot of her friends, and we became friends easily.
How much time did you think that took?
3 days.
Okay, that's pretty accurate, right? 3 days
Yeah.
after we moved into our development. So Mia is a friend, practically one of his first friends where, we got to know her. He had some friends that he met randomly when we went to like the play places where they have like the slides and all the things. So Mia and her mom, they were at the swimming pool and we went over to swim, and Mia is what, a year or two younger than you?
1 year.
1 year younger than Micah, but she's very together, okay? She's Miss Black Belt Taekwondo and all the things. And they hit it off right away. And she was always hanging out with us and hanging out with you, etc. So it was fun. Let's see. Next, Khadijah. Okay, thank you. Hey, Yvonne. What's up? Que pasa? Erica, what advice would Micah have for young people moving from the US to Mexico who are your age now, early teens?
I would say, what would necessarily be like their goal? To make a lot of friends, or like to start something, or like just doing stuff in general?
When you say start something, what do you mean?
Like start a mini business, or like, I don't know, just start something in general.
What would your advice be though?
I would say like make a lot of friends.
Right, but what would the advice be for them if they were just moving here? Anything do you think they could prepare for or should prepare for before they came?
Get a lot of games. Not necessarily video
Okay.
games, but like just games in general.
Oh, you mean like bring games?
Yeah, like Uno, board games, card games. Yeah.
My advice would be to practice the language. What did you think about that? What did you think about learning the language?
It was easy-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it would be harder for you to learn it now as a teen, or was it easier for you to learn it when you, like, harder or easier because of your age?
Probably easier because of my age.
You think it would have been easier to learn it as a 13-year-old or versus being 6?
Being 6.
Was easier? Yeah. Why? Why do you think that's the case?
Less things to focus on.
That's a good point. Is that why I'm so crusty at it?
Maybe.
I'm sorry, pero mi español es muy perfecto. Gracias. Lo siento.
Muy mal.
No. Anyway.
Yes.
So, okay, before we skip down, but okay, so to give my opinion, I think one of the things I would suggest for a teenager moving to Mexico at this point would be to try to immerse themselves as much as possible in the language if they don't speak the language already. I feel that that's what helps all of us integrate better into the community, right? Because you can be friends with anyone if you can communicate with them. I do think kids in general are just, they're just easy going on themselves. They're not worried about how they sound or what they're doing most of the time. If they're painfully shy, then it might be a little harder. I think kids who are more social and outgoing, and someone told me this when I moved here, that they're going to probably try harder to learn the language because they want to be able to socialize. So I think kind of understanding how your child is and learning it, I think, is key, of course, for us as adults as well. Maybe making fun plans and doing it together. Even if you decided I'm not fully there yet, but I want to go for the summer and I want to fully immerse myself with a family, stay in a family or something like that. That's what my parental advice would be, right? I feel that it was easier for him because he had just gotten out of kindergarten, so he didn't have all these rules in his head about how he's supposed to speak. And we did a lot of classes, one-on-one classes with Miss Martha. We love Miss Martha for a few years, plus school and all the things. And yeah, we just threw him out there in the mix. The funny thing is, not funny, but the surprising thing for us in El Secreto, where we used to live in the development, so all of the children, even though there were some younger than him, some older, they were all bilingual. I mean, almost all of them at that young age, because most of them had one parent that was Mexican and one parent that was from the US or an English-speaking country. And so all of the children were speaking mostly in English all the time. So I found that to be a little bit frustrating because I wanted him to continuously speak Spanish. But we did the lessons and all the things. So that was a little surprising for me. But you've got it, right? Now you're teaching. All right, what's up next? How does it feel to be a young entrepreneur?
It feels kind of raw.
What does that mean? It feels raw.
Nice but nervous. That's what it means.
I know, but I mean, how does it feel, I guess, maybe from an ownership standpoint? It's yours, it's your business.
Very nerve-wracking. I don't
How
really
so?
know what else to say.
How so?
Like, just, well, I'm not necessarily sure how to explain it.
No? Dig down deep inside. Pull it out.
I am not sure.
Do
What do you think?
you think it's nerve-wracking because it's new, kind of new? Yeah. Like talking to people that you're just meeting online, or like what?
The first thing.
Yeah. It's like jumping off the cliff and jumping in the grill.
It was very scary.
Okay. I understand that. I think anyone who has a business, it's nerve-wracking, right? Michelle can attest to that. And, starting Casa Elm, starting Hacienda, I think we all get the butterflies, right? Where it's like, it's not that you doubt yourself, it's just that those initial times you are still learning too, like what works, what doesn't, what do I say, what do I don't say, what don't I say, what do I do, and how do I approach it, right? Come, you can fall off. Siéntate. So to answer your question, Lisa, yes. Micah is still teaching his Spanish classes, and I dropped that earlier, but I'll do it again. For anyone who's interested, he has group and individual classes on Sundays, I believe. So you can check it out here at this link and website. Okay, let's see, ¿qué más? Let's see, who else had a question? Hi, Pamela, welcome. Yes, yes. So Pamela attended our Spanish immersion, which was actually put on by Jessie Felice. And Jessie Felice is teaching Spanish, I believe, in Detroit. She is phenomenal, so check her out on Instagram at Spanish Swag, SWAG. She's doing great things. I believe she recently opened a learning center, and you can see all the good work that she does. She's very fluent in Spanish. It's a sister, and she does a phenomenal job. So she brought her group here to Casa Elm last year. We had a beautiful program set up for her group, and yes, Pamela was in the group. It was really lovely. I mean, they got to really practice. I think she teaches, but then they also were able to practice while they were here. And each morning they would kind of go over what their lesson plan was and what they were going to do and the experiences they were intentionally setting up, like going to the market. And here are the things that, we're going to communicate and practice with. So that was beautiful. I would like to repeat it next year. We shall see. Kind of with Hacienda this year, I did not have a chance to kind of put that program together again. Yeah, so Michelle, I took a Spanish class with Micah and he's great. Thank you. And thank you. Gracias from you. She says, natural and easy to talk to, even in Spanish. Very proud of him. What do you say?
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Michelle.
Hello.
Come on, Micah. Teaching is a boss move. You are awesome and a boss. What? Mi jefe. How do they say? Sandra always says, patrone?
Patron?
No, like boss. Jefe, mi jefe, y patrone. I think that's what she says.
Patron. Then.
Patron. Not the tequila. There's a brand called Patron tequila.
Not here.
Which probably means the same thing. Okay. Hi, Miss Delia. How are you? Welcome. All right. So I have my questions. What made you feel really proud of yourself this year?
I would say learning a new song on piano. The name of the song was Dance of the Wooden Shoes.
I don't remember how that one sounds. Is that the kind of like, what they call it, like dun dun dun? That one?
Mm-mm.
No, something else. Okay. Is it? Do you know how to play it? Or are you still practicing?
I don't know how to play it.
Okay. He's actually really good, considering the lessons have not been excessive yet, meaning he hasn't had a ton. We've done piano off and on since he was little, but there's a gentleman that lives in our neighborhood who he's learning from, and I really like him a lot. He actually said that you were going to be in a concert in December or something like that. Did you remember him saying that? Okay. If we're here, because I'm trying to be out in December because it's cold. I don't want to be here. Oh yeah, is that the song? No? Okay.
That is dance of the Indian war dance.
That sounds like my song, my type of song. Okay, you gonna sing it? No? Okay. Julie has a question. What elements of your school experience in Mexico do you think would be beneficial to students in the United States?
There's something I really wanted to say, but I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, that's probably good. I don't know what that is. No, but try to answer this question. Seriously answer. In a positive light, in a positive way.
Something I would say would be beneficial is more world studies, such as like history and like overall
Geography.
geographical structures of the world, I guess,
Geography,
and history.
world history.
Because I mean, in the US, like, sure, they may teach a little bit about like just the world in general, but it's mostly about the US.
That's a good point. What do you feel you've learned here that was worldly?
Uh, Overall, or just history about the world in general, like from Mesopotamia and going like very far into the future.
Hi. What would be a question around that? What do you feel about language learning for students in the US?
How so? Like just languages in general?
Yeah, just learning other languages.
Like, um, I would say definitely try learning, instead of like Mexican Spanish, try learning Latin American Spanish because it is used a lot more in other places.
What does that mean? I don't
Like,
understand.
so there's Spanish here in Mexico, and then there's a similar Spanish, but in places like Argentina and stuff.
Well, how would you learn Latin American Spanish? What country would you learn that in?
Some places in the US, Argentina, Brazil, what was the
Those
other
are South
place?
America.
Yeah, what was it called? I forgot. Spain.
Okay. So I think like each country has its dialect, right? Uh, and just like with English, moving around the US, everyone has kind of a different dialect, kind of, sort of, right?
Yeah.
So I think finding the countries where it's a bit more pure. Like, I don't know if you know this, but Ecuador is supposed to be one of the countries where if you are learning Spanish, that you would learn Spanish and it's the purest. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's where I tried really hard to learn the language. And I actually did learn quite a bit. That was years ago.
Nice.
But then when I moved over to down to Chile, it was difficult, very difficult. So let's see, did we fully answer that question? Elements of school, Mexico. I mean, anything else?
Mm,
In terms
no.
of, no? I feel that the experience for you moving from South Florida to San Miguel, I feel that the student base in general in San Miguel, not just in one school, but all the schools, has been pretty diverse in general, meaning a lot of the kids come from different, I mean, there are a lot of local children as well, a lot of children with interracial parents, bicultural parents and things like that. But there are also a lot of kids that come from different types of backgrounds. So for example, you know, the schooling might have been very different. There's a lot of parents who have world schooled, unschooled, homeschooled. So that comes with so much because a lot of them have traveled. And so that gave us a lot of insight when we moved here. Like, I didn't really know about all these other school types of options other than homeschooling and going to public school or private school when I moved here. Of course, I heard of certain things. I even considered homeschooling myself. But when I moved here, I met a lot of groups that created their own pods for learning. Unschoolers, I'd never heard of this before. World schooling, I love the whole travel, so we're really adopting that in the coming years,
That's
more
what
and
she
more.
loves.
Yes, so we're going to try to do that. We're putting that on for the coming school years. So it's been really awesome being here and being exposed to that. Hi, Iona. Welcome. Yes, mis amigos. Good to see you. Love seeing you both. So cute. Gracias. I was nervous too with her first business. See, she said you will be a pro in no time. I think so too. Because you're good at stuff. Once he gets his foothold, I think you do a good job, right? Thank you, my dear. Good to see you here. Pamela, Micah, do you want to learn any other
Yes.
languages? If so, which ones?
Japanese and Icelandic.
Can you say that a little louder?
Japanese and Icelandic. Japanese because I want to go to Japan, and Icelandic because I think it's a really cool and unique language.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you hear this language? What were you like? What did you see?
Somewhere.
Somewhere?
Yeah.
Was it like a Viking movie or something?
I think I first heard it in a Viking movie, but then I remembered about it because somewhere or something else said something about it.
Okay, it's a very interesting language, but I love Iceland as a country goes, so that's on our list as well, right?
Yeah.
As soon as Micah musters up his class money, we're gonna get a plane ticket, right? You're gonna buy me a ticket? Okay, anyway, yes, so he is learning Japanese. Is there anything that you know how to say yet?
Yes.
Put it out there. What is it? Hop on this, or am I putting you on the spot?
I'll say two things.
Okay.
Mengoshi and Isha.
Okay, what does that mean? Do you know?
Someone try to guess,
And if they can't?
then I'll say it.
Okay, well, let's give it a few minutes. Is that a teenage pimple on your chin? No, that's a piece of paper. It's like, what happened? No pimples. All right, let's see. Iona, Micah, how important do you think it is for kids to know more than language, especially kids based in the US? In what ways do you think it's a benefit?
Maybe like say that you are living in the US, but you go to another country just as like a visit and you actually know the language because you actually practiced it, even if you didn't know you were going to go there.
So, what do you mean?
Like, say that you are from some random country, like here or US or Europe, or I guess that's more like a continent. Anyways, say that you were just from one of those places, and you had no idea you were gonna go to one of those other countries, but you were practicing the language anyways just because, like, future stuff, right? Then it would just be like generally useful if you do go.
Okay, I think that's partly what she meant, but I think she also said, how important do you think it is for kids to kind of, this is my understanding, Iona, for kids to know like more than just language about other countries, like their culture. For example, let's say there was a group coming from Canada to Mexico. How important do you think it would be for them to know something about this country? Like, in what ways would that be important culturally? You're like under pressure tonight.
I don't want to be here.
Oh, don't say
I'm
that.
kidding. I just want to be with you.
Oh, my little love bug.
Very important.
In what way?
Just
For example, when you go to, well, we've been to a lot of places, but let's say you were going to another country. How do you think you could prepare yourself, besides the language, for that other country? Like, what would you do to prepare yourself for that visit? Let's say when we went to Europe, when we visited a few countries in Europe, what was a good way to prepare? Like knowing,
maybe like having someone to practice with.
but what else would you prepare for?
Uh, I don't know.
Street smarts, places you want to see, history, how people might respond or react to things. When you were in Jamaica, what surprised you? What weren't you prepared for? Huh?
The food.
The food?
Yeah.
What was wrong with, was there something wrong with it? Or
No.
what do you mean?
I mean, I knew that the food was yummy, but I would say it was yummier than I'd expect.
Okay. What about the culture?
Absolutely nothing. Uh, I would also say I mean, I expected the language in general to be like that because the language is also kind of similar to to Saint Martin.
You mean like the dialect, the way
Yeah.
people speak English? Yeah, they're sing-song, sing-song. I think in St. Martin, it's very sing-song, right? It's like more like, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how to speak like that?
Nope.
I think you need to spend more time
No.
over there.
Unless I'm staying in Cafe Blue.
No, I don't mean Jamaica. I was talking about St. Martin.
Unless I'm staying with Auntie Cordella.
Cordella, hey, she'll probably watch this later. Jamaica. I mean, you are part Jamaican, so aside from the food, culturally, I mean, you had a good time with a friend you made. What was his name again? Do you remember?
Ramonique.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah.
The guy who did the tour? What was it?
Ramonique.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds Spanish. Was it Dominic or? No, that wasn't it. That doesn't sound familiar.
It is.
Okay.
It
We'll call
is.
him the tour guide, our 14-year-old tour guide. He walked us through the town and past secret waterfalls and goats on the side of the road chilling. And it was hot, super hot. We were up in the Blue Mountains, but what I find always very interesting is kids just really connect no matter where you are. Typically, you know, even if they can't communicate, that's always lovely to see. Although, yes, you were able to communicate with him, but, you know, he had his accent, he had his own things, but they had a lot in common, right? Didn't you guys have a lot in common? You were playing, I don't remember, some game, and he came back and hung out with us for a long time. Do you remember what it was? What?
Pokemon.
Was it Pokemon or Roblox? I thought you guys were online.
Yeah, we were playing a Pokemon game on Roblox.
Whatever that means.
So, on Roblox, there are a lot of different games that have imitations of other games. So, say, like, you know Minecraft, right? Kind of. Like, you just know the game, right?
Yes.
So, in Roblox, there is a copyright version of Minecraft.
Okay.
And same with Pokemon.
Okay. If this were about video games, there would be a whole lot more talking. Just because
And did
that's
you know? I'm
his,
kidding.
because that's his thing. He loves animations. He loves the anime. He loves Japanese culture.
That's probably my favorite culture.
He loves to read. So if you ever want to sponsor something for Micah,
Please make it be about a book.
buy him a series of books. They can be hundreds and they could be thousands of pages. He will read
Make it one book that's 10,000 pages long. I
He
will
read
finish it
He will
within a
fin-
month.
Exactly. He loves to read, so I'm grateful for that because I used to read to him when he was itty bitty. Even before he turned 1, I always read to him every single night. So it was beautiful. And then we started reading as he started learning more and more words. He would read a paragraph, I would read one. He would read a page, I would read one. He would read more and more. And at 10, I kind of fell off because I can't keep my eyes open at night.
She did. I still love to read.
He loves reading, and so
It's my favorite thing to do indoors.
okay, right. And he rereads the series and book. Like if you see his room, there's like
Literally,
so many books in there, series that we
I
bought.
have like a metal thing that's meant to hold shoes, but half of it, no,
All
more like
books.
3/4.
It's like about my height, about
Yeah,
5,
if you
5
were
feet 5,
to
5'7".
if you were to stack all the books I've ever had and currently in my room, I would say it gets to about that balcony or higher. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. So just saying, he's a reader. And his favorite, what's your favorite series? And then we'll answer more questions.
My favorite series, like how so sci-fi.
Just what was your favorite series? Just happens to be here. How many times have you read that book? 3. And that's a series, so.
Someone guess how? Don't guess. It's 366 pages long.
He's read it 3 times. Anyway, that's fantastic. All right, let's answer some more questions. Party glasses. Did we go through that? What is the big difference between your school in the U.S.? Oh, okay. So what is the biggest difference between your school in the U.S. versus your school in Mexico? And is school lunch good? Is the school lunch good? Okay, so I'll say Micah didn't really do much school in the U.S. He only did kindergarten. Do you remember it?
Yeah, it
Okay,
was
so-
nice.
So what is the difference? What do you think the difference is? Between, I mean, is it enough for you to remember? What?
Nothing.
Your glasses are giving me, hurting my eyeballs.
Shine. I would say the biggest difference is like just the attitude in general, I guess.
Yeah, and whose attitude? Teachers, yours, the friends?
Teachers.
In what way?
I mean, in the US, the teacher, or most of the teachers were really nice. Here, at some schools, I'm sure you'll think of 1 or 2
Schools or teachers?
schools and teachers. One of them just completely forgot about me.
Oh, yeah, a situation.
That was in my first school
That
here.
was in first grade, yeah,
I didn't last like a month.
because mommy ain't playing.
Yeah, they left me at the school.
They didn't leave you at the school. They didn't leave you. Okay, so let me explain. because I don't want you guys to grab your kids and be like, oh my God, we're never moving to Mexico. He moved, when we first moved here, he was in school, won't name them, we won't name names. And they had an event on site and it started in the morning. So basically the parents dropped their children off and we were all parents standing outside the school waiting for the event to start. And then they were letting us in to the courtyard area of the school. And it was to celebrate independence here in Mexico, which is in September. And so they had all of the kids and the teachers for that classroom like together. So there were like various grades and stuff, and then all the parents came in. So we were all there, but when the group of kids came out and we were watching them do a little performance or whatever for Independence Day, I just kind of looked at the group and I was like, tapped the teacher on her shoulder. I said, "Where's Micah?" And she was like, "Oh," kind of surprised. And so, of course, I went into straight full panic mode because it was my first few months in Mexico. And I knew he didn't leave the school because nobody left the school, but he was in the classroom and he was in there because him and some kids got into it over a whistle that he had and whatever. But I was upset because it just felt, especially then, more negligent because we had just gotten there. And so everything was new for me as a parent to kind of adjust to kind of their being more laid back. Because in the US, things are very strict. There's the head count and there's like all the students have to kind of line up, especially the little kids and stuff like that. So just wanted to clarify. Yeah. What was the original question? What was the
Biggest
difference? What do you
difference.
feel? Okay, so the
I think
teachers.
yeah.
You thought the teachers were nicer in the U.S. than here?
Yes.
Really? That's
Did
too
they
bad.
lie?
I feel like it's a mix, to be honest. I do. I feel like there are teachers in your daycare and then what is it, VPK, like pre-kindergarten and then kindergarten that I really liked and some that I didn't like. And then I felt that there were teachers here, because when you don't like something or someone, that of course stands out the most in your mind. And I just moved him out of different schools. But I do think you've had some pretty good teachers. I like Miss Martha.
Well,
I like
we're
Miss.
talking about schools.
Okay, but that was a part of it. I liked, what's her name? Of course, Miss Judy, which is somewhat was school. I actually liked the principal at your new school. There were just some things I didn't love. I like some of them. I like Leanne. You didn't like Leanne? I like Leanne.
Yeah.
And what's the other lady? I don't care for the Spanish teacher, but did I say that out loud? I didn't call her name. Jeez.
You heard nothing.
We're gonna erase that. All right, we're moving on. Let's see.
Book series.
Nope, we're not skipping people. Micah, you exercise critical thinking skill. This is a great asset to have throughout your life. Exactly, I agree. Thank you, Julie. Erica, my kid had to give me a lesson on Roblox too.
I should do that
Don't
to
sweat
you.
it, Michelle.
I'm giving you a lesson. I will close your computer and give you a lesson.
I
Yeah.
don't want it.
You'll have it anyways.
No quiero. Yeah, electronics,
She'll care for electronics, just not for the games on them.
have there been any games that you played that I actually liked, that I played with you?
Yeah.
Which ones? I can't remember.
Elden Ring.
Did I actually play that though?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so Elden Ring,
I hate the game now.
you what? You hit it? Why?
No, I hate it.
Oh, you hate it. Why? Because you begged for that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I hate it, but I also like it.
Why do you hate it?
Well, I mean, one main reason it's made me crash out over a lot of things, and
What does
pretty
that
much
mean? Crash out.
crash out is making me like super mad.
Super, okay. Is that like a teenage terminology that I don't know
I
about?
guess.
Crash out. That
Yes.
doesn't sound right to
I know
me.
it doesn't, but that's what some people say. Anyways, Elden Ring, I hate it, but I also like it.
And what is that on? PlayStation?
And on
Tablet?
Xbox and on a laptop.
That's why reading is great.
Yeah.
Let's read more.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's read more and let's build businesses so you can
Maybe not the
travel.
second thing.
So we can travel, okay? And then you can help continue to be my GPS sidekick in the car when I'm trying to find stuff while I drive, and you just GPS. And this way you don't have to crash out anymore.
Yippee!
How about that? Okay, what book or series are you looking forward to reading this year?
Talon.
And what was the other one that was in the cart? There were two.
There were?
Yeah.
I
What
forgot.
happened to that one that I just bought you?
Which one?
You said there had a lot of curse words in it.
Oh, Blood at the Roots.
I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. I heard
Did you
about the
finish
book.
it though? That's a no. So Talon, to answer the question,
Yes.
he's always very diplomatic. So instead of saying no, he'll be like, well, I'm almost finished, or I'm almost there. Did you finish the Spanish book that I bought 2 years ago? No, you didn't.
I did!
You did?
Yeah.
The chapter book? What was it about?
So Patty
It's the glasses.
practically, the book was about two kids who lived in the same city, and pretty much like the city got like haunted by a whole lot of ghosts, right? I don't know how. It just did. Like, so they were in class and they were talking about something, and like while they were in class, everyone kind of like just passed out, and like they were the only two who didn't pass out, and when they stepped outside, everyone who was walking, even dogs, they'd all just passed out, and there were like just a whole bunch of ghosts floating around. That's pretty much a recap, and they pretty much
How
like
come you keep pulling business cards out your pocket? What's going on here? By the way, this is my new business card for Hacienda L. What is happening? What are you doing? All right, sit back. Oh my gosh, I give up. Okay, let's get serious. People are watching us, okay?
Okay.
Sit back a little. You look like you're stuck. You're sitting on my hand. All right, let's see. ¿Qué más? So Talon is a series that he's looking forward to reading. Crash out is a newish term. I hear it a lot now
Yes.
from Pamela. I don't know that I've heard this often. I feel like I'm missing out on something here. Have you begun introducing AI technology into schools? Or have they begun introducing AI technology into the school's curriculum for the younger children?
no.
What about in robotics?
No, we still aren't using AI.
No?
No.
Okay. Do you use AI? Stop, you're bending these. Don't do that.
You gave them to me though.
I know, but don't bend it.
Okay.
Do you have more?
Yes.
Jeez. What did I give those to you? Disaster. I just paid for those.
These are the old ones.
Okay, then have them back. Sorry, we repented. I was like, why you keep pulling like Dahlia said the business card magician. It's true. True. True that. Okay. Any more? You probably have like 96 more in your
Yeah,
pocket.
that's
Okay.
actually kind of accurate.
All
I'll
right.
take out another one.
Okay.
Okay,
So
that's
no
it.
AI, but you do use AI a little bit. He's used AI for your subscription emails, right? They haven't gone out yet, but I
They
told him
are
to.
going to go out.
Right. So I don't, AI is a lot right now. I use it to help really just clarify things, help write. It's just really incredible, but it also feels like we're dumbing a lot of things down. So in terms of using it in school, no, they don't. They haven't, and they're actually officially out of school right now. So, and we are branching into doing something completely different for the next school year, starting next month. So there's going to be more of like a learning hub pod scenario where they're more focused on taking classes and subjects of things that they're really interested in that don't come necessarily later on in college. Robotics being one of those things, and definitely incorporating a lot of travel, world school travel type situations, whether it's in the group setting or a planned kind of trip with learning incorporated into that. So that's kind of where we are right now. And we'll talk more about that when we have it more set up. So we have a lady that was a guest here at Casa Elm, and she's from the US. She has opened 10 charter schools in the United States, and she's coming back to work with his robotics school to create a learning pod for the students that are interested. So I was like, sign us up because it really is up his alley. And I think it will be great because it will be a much smaller environment for him to kind of hone in on the things he's interested in doing. So I'm excited about that. So Miss Delia said, readers are leaders. Keep on reading. Yes. And I want to say welcome to, I saw someone's name.
Latanya.
No, I thought it was someone with a longer name. Where did it go? Oop. I feel like it. Okay, I don't see it. We're going down the list. Okay, I don't see it anymore.
Pretty sure it was.
Latanya. Okay, yes. Hi, Latanya. Sorry, I probably do need some glasses put on my face. She says she's happy you like reading. Thank you. Khadijah, great question. At Lisa, thank you. We did the business card. From Lisa, is it become a requirement when I retire from Oracle? Everyone was being trained on it for AI. Interesting. So it was becoming a requirement. To be honest, I think it's a good idea. I use it. I know there are so many things you can do with it, but I also, I think there's so many things you can expand yourself on. You can learn about things that, just stuff like I have a lot of random questions sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, let's ask. So it's sort of that much upgraded version of what was that little box from Amazon that we never really used? Not box, the round thing.
We have multiple round things from Amazon.
Alexa.
Oh, Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa, which we never really used.
I mean, I'll use it a lot if you actually give it to me. It's just somewhere.
Where is it? It's somewhere collecting dust, basically.
It's in her room somewhere.
Okay.
I would use it a lot more than she does because she doesn't even have it plugged up
Yeah, it's been it's somewhere.
somewhere.
But that's interesting that they are kind of bringing it into the workplace and making it a requirement. So feel free to share more about that. Khadijah says, I love how customizable your mom has made your education, world travel, robotics. It makes you ahead of other children in your age group. Thank you, Khadijah. That's one of the things I have to say I learned here. I really did learn to I was always very flexible and open, and I knew moving abroad would broaden our horizon a lot. but I really learned a lot about homeschool, world school, unschool, all these things from groups here. I remember there, and she lives here now, so I met this amazing, beautiful sister that was in San Miguel the year we came, 2018. She came with her two daughters. She was from New York. She is from New York originally, and she had never sent her kids to school. And I don't know, when I think of that, it feels overwhelming for me. And she was just like, oh, I want my kids to learn what I want them to learn. I don't want them to be, you know, just kind of in environments that are teaching them things that she really didn't want them to learn or be a part of. I respect that, but I also felt very overwhelmed by the idea of me doing this on my own. And they, you know, she introduced my mind to this very open way and approach of educating outside of being in the box, and you have to do it this way, and you have to go to school, and you have to be in a classroom, you have to A, B, C, D. And she had this amazing group that came, all of them came to San Miguel. I want to say there were maybe 30 parents, and I don't remember how many kids. Do you remember that? They were at Smart Space when Stephanie had it that first year. And they came here just for like, I think 6 weeks or 2 months to gather and talk about all their travels. And I remember meeting like these parents with kids that were their own, but adopted children as well. And a few of them just knew like 6 languages, and they were like, oh yeah, we lived over here for a year, and we lived over there for 1 year. Now, I like having a home base, but I also love traveling. And so for me, I learned a lot from that, and how can I adopt that into our lifestyle? And, you know, our life has changed over the years, but in having this business and then being able to leave and just experience even just Mexico and different ways of educating has really been eye-opening, but also a beautiful experience that I realize, you know, education doesn't have to just be in a classroom setting and a chalkboard. Nothing wrong with that, but there's so much world out there, and I think that we have to, as much as we can, try to equip our children to how to navigate, you know, moving around in the world and feeling comfortable doing so, not being kind of in a shell because they never left, you know, Timbuktu, right? You live inside of Timbuktu. We live in Timbuktu in San Miguel. Yes. Okay. Tanya, he's right. It was me. Okay. Anyway, so we can really quickly, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all so much for being here. Is there anything you want to drop? Really, last thing, any last minute comments you want to say?
Never get Elden Ring.
Because that's, yes.
Unless you wanna not have the will to live. I'm kidding.
What? What is that?
I'm kidding.
Okay, that means that's going in the trash. Okay. Is the champagne tea kicking in? It is.
No.
It is. It is. I don't even understand what that was about. Okay, so what are you most excited and curious about for the next school year?
World schooling experience and maybe going to Japan. Yeah.
Okay. That means you need to start getting some clients on your website. Feel free to sign up. And then the last thing, what's the one thing you really want to try on and do this summer?
Maybe going to Oaxaca. Yeah, going to Oaxaca.
Okay.
You?
2 things. Well, 3 things. My mom is coming, and my auntie, who is in her mid-90s, and I'm very excited about that. And getting our Jamaican citizenship. I'm planning on doing that. As soon as my mom gets here, she'll be bringing all her papers, and I'm very excited about that. So we'll talk about it when it happens. And potentially spending a couple weeks down in Oaxaca by driving there with our car, and maybe one of our little rude doggies a little crazy husky.
They'll be
So,
lucky if they even get to go in the car.
well, right now, right, they will be lucky, very. Right now, there's a bad storm going on in Oaxaca, and so one of my people that was supposed to be leaving tomorrow to come here and be a part of this process of the grand opening on Saturday will not be making it, but better safe than sorry. So I'm not sure what's happening, but they had a lot of cancellations and stuff like that. So anyway, that is the plan. Thank you all again, Michelle, for Casa Elm and Micah, my boom boom, my baby boy who is getting big, big, big. You can see he's literally, that's pretty much like where we are in height wise, but he's a really good child. He got a cool haircut today. Let's show the back. Yes. Very nice. He showed the lady what he wanted, and she did a great job. But if you haven't hit the like button already, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate you all being here tonight. Next week, we are Love You Too, Miss Delia. We'll see you mañana. Next week, we're going to be talking about stuff you need to know with life in Mexico. It's really important, so please make sure you join us. You will see that. And then for the month of July, we're going to have each Wednesday night we'll focus on something that kind of talks about aging, getting older, elder parents, elder family members, yourself, and why it's important to be in community and what you can experience in this concept that we're creating or we have created at Hacienda Elm. And can I just tell you all, I wanted to say this, I will also talk the first week of July more about the heart behind the project. So please stay tuned for all of that. Thank you all so much for being here. And yes, thank you for sharing, Michelle, Micah. Thank you all. What do you have to say? En español, porfa.
Que tengan un buen día y adiós.
That's it? Okay. Buenas noches. Muchas gracias for being here tonight. We appreciate you all. Have a great evening. Ciao. The hand move, that was cute. 76 views, yay. I want to get